He's trying to do the same thing. He want to fight the best they got out there. He's asking, can he fight the best? I believe his contract is coming to an end, so hopefully we can come together and I can take him to that next level and give him the fights that he want.
I'm that guy. I don't think that I'm that guy who I've been my whole entire career. Sometimes it just take a little minute to adjust and adapt, and I'm adjusting and I'm adapting well. So July 12th is going to be a state.
Floyd Mayweather recently visited Shakur Stevenson's training camp ahead of his fight with Teofimo Lopez, and his message was loud and clear. Mayweather praised Shakur as the best fighter in his weight class and made it known that he plans to share his knowledge and experience. His goal is to help Stevenson sharpen his skills, elevate his game even further, and reach new levels in his boxing career.
The most skillful fighter at 135 will be hands down Shakur Stevenson.
And what is it about him? Because I know he have a lot of good attributes, but do you think he has enough power to sustain?
Well, it's really all about skills. Pernell Whitaker wasn't a huge puncher, but he was, very exciting, very tough, and he fought everybody. And Shakur is trying to do the same thing. He want to fight the best they got out there. He's asking, can he fight the best? I believe his contract is coming to an end, so hopefully we can come together and I can take him to that next level and give him the fights that he want and make the fights happen.
Shakur Stevenson is fully locked in at training camp, focusing on every detail of his preparation for the Teofimo Lopez fight. He's drilling speed, footwork, and defensive fundamentals while refining combinations and ring strategy. Each session pushes him closer to his limits, sharpening his reflexes and building endurance. The intensity, discipline, and consistency inside the camp make it clear that Shakur is completely committed to controlling and dominating on fight night.
Yeah, on my way. You just sleep yet? Da-da-da-da-da. Next thing you know, if you wake up, da-da-da. You know, they think with
Stevenson is also driven by a desire to silence anyone who still doubts him. Despite everything he's already accomplished, he feels there is more to prove. Each fight represents an opportunity to erase skepticism and reinforce his position as one of the elite fighters in boxing today.
Honestly, I got a chip on my shoulder though. Like, I got something to prove. I feel like with this fight, a lot of people sleeping on me. A lot of people don't think that I'm that guy. They don't think that I'm that guy who I've been my whole entire career. Sometimes it just take a little minute to adjust and adapt, and I'm adjusting and I'm adapting well. So July 12th is going to be a statement.
For interview EW asterisk appearing on the Ariel Helwani show, Shakur spoke confidently about his upcoming fight with Teofimo Lopez and addressed his critics directly. He stated that Lopez has never faced someone on his level and believes he will test him in ways no previous opponent has. Shakur also weighed in on how Lopez would fare against elite fighters like Terence Crawford, suggesting Lopez would struggle and likely be overpowered. While acknowledging Lopez's talent, Stevenson made it clear he doesn't see him on Crawford's level. He also discussed his promotional situation, explaining that while he had considered moving on from Matchroom, Eddie Hearn is now involved, providing structure and strong backing. For this high-profile bout, the comments highlighted how seriously Shakur takes both his preparation and the business side of boxing.
Ooh, I mean, that's their opinion. Like, you know, they could say that. But I know he never fought nobody on my level. Like, I'm 1,000,000% sure that Teo has never seen nobody as good as me in his life.
He's talking about, like, once he gets through you, then he wants Crawford, names like that. How do you think he would do against someone like Terence at this point?
I think he gets knocked out.
Can't even hang with him.
Yeah, he's too little. Bud is too big for him.
Right. As far as skills, though, do you think he's on par with the likes of Terence?
I'm not going to say he's on a Terence Crawford level of skills, but he's very skillful. He got a lot of things with him that puts him at a high level.
One thing that was interesting to me was it seemed like you were going to move on from Matchroom, but now Eddie Hearn is involved in this, and this is a Matchroom event. It seems like, I know it's a ring card too, but he's promoting it here in the United States. So what is the state of your relationship with Eddie and Matchroom at this point?
Eddie's my guy. I'm actually not signed to Matchroom, but he's my guy. I'm a big fan of Eddie Hearn, and nothing but respect to him. But I'm glad he's the promoter that's on this card. I'm glad to share the spotlight with his promotional company.
So if he's your guy, how come you're not signed to Matchroom?
I mean, it's just business. If it makes sense, then I will. You know, if it come down to it and that's what makes sense, then we'll do it. But right now, I don't think it makes sense.
Okay, so are you just more of like your own man at this point? Your own entity?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. Do you negotiate with the ring people, with Turkey? You just do that yourself?
No, me and my manager,
Analysts have closely broken down the matchup, identifying both fighters' strengths and weaknesses. One of the most important factors is Lopez's difficulty with movement-heavy opponents. While Lopez is explosive, athletic, and capable of overwhelming many fighters with power, he often struggles against opponents who move fluidly and force constant adjustments. That weakness becomes especially significant against Stevenson, whose footwork, timing, and patience allow him to frustrate and control aggressive fighters. Boxing analyst Bruce Carrington has pointed out that Shakur's ability to manage distance, shift angles, and force Lopez into uncomfortable positions could neutralize Lopez's offensive burst and open the door for sharp counters. Lopez is at his best when he dictates the fight, but Stevenson presents a challenge unlike most opponents he's faced. Shakur's defensive awareness, combined with his ability to change rhythm and control space, limits Lopez's clean opportunities. The general consensus is that explosiveness alone won't be enough. Lopez must adjust, stay disciplined, and choose his moments wisely. If he fails to do so, Stevenson is likely to control the pace and capitalize on every mistake. At the core of this matchup is a familiar theme: technical mastery versus raw athleticism.
Teo is going to bring the fight. He's very athletic. He has a lot of explosiveness, and but I do feel like when it comes to Shakur, bro, his movement may frustrate him. The only thing that worries me when it comes to Teofimo is his frustration. Like, is he going to be able to work well with a mover? We've seen, difficulties that he had with Sandor Martin. We've seen the difficulties that he had with Jimmy Ortiz, guys that's been moving around and not staying still. Like, if you keep Teo moving around and he can't plant his feet, what can he do? We're going to have to find that out on, January 31st. And I think Shakur, he's probably one of the best guys to, move his feet, be on defense, being hella patient and frustrating a fighter, bro. Like, so, I don't know. We've seen Teo get frustrated to the point where he's asking himself, do I still got it? You know what I'm saying? We got to see what his mentality is going to be like come January 31st.
Do you think that his experience on the biggest of stages, his two biggest wins, he was an underdog. And both guys, ironically enough, were southpaws like Shakur. That play any factor to you, man?
Nah, styles is different. The styles are totally different. Lomachenko don't fight like Shakur. Josh Taylor don't fight like Shakur. I don't see, just because southpaw, that same thing will happen. I feel like certain techniques could be used to fight Shakur, yeah. But in terms of like that approach of the fight, nah. Like, Shakur fights totally different. You gotta be able to do some out of pocket stuff with Shakur. You gotta throw while he's throwing. That's probably some of the only time.
Odds suggest Lopez performs best when facing elite-level opposition, with his ceiling rising alongside the caliber of his opponent. Against a fighter like Stevenson, Lopez is forced to operate at his absolute peak, relying on timing, reflexes, and ring intelligence rather than emotion. This fight isn't just about power or strength, it's a test of mental sharpness and adaptability. Analysts believe Lopez can rise to the occasion, but only if he controls his aggression, maintains discipline, and avoids predictable patterns that Stevenson is built to exploit. In many ways, this matchup represents a classic clash between explosive talent and tactical precision. Shakur's speed also plays a crucial role. Observers often describe his speed as a form of power, with punches arriving faster than opponents can process. That velocity disrupts timing and creates openings even without full force shots. Veteran analyst Ennis has noted that many fighters struggle to anticipate Stevenson's attacks, and that unpredictability could be decisive against Lopez. The combination of speed, precision, and timing allows Shakur to control exchanges, dictate rhythm, and punish mistakes, giving him a clear tactical edge throughout the fight.
Lopez needs opponents like Shakur Stevenson because they are elite fighters. He needs that to bring out the very best in him. I just can't see how it's possible that whilst Teofimo, we've seen a ceiling with him in terms of he's been beaten by certain opponents, we know that he can lose in the ring, but I don't know if that's a genuine ceiling, because I think that his ceiling is actually one of the most changeable in boxing based on who's in front of him. And so actually, I think there's a very, very good chance we're going to see the best possible version of Teofimo Lopez in the ring against Shakur Stevenson. But we should talk about Shakur Stevenson before we get into the nuts and bolts of the fight, what it might look like, and why it is so risky for both men. Now, Shakur Stevenson is currently undefeated. He's 24-0 with 11 KOs. He turned pro back in 2017. He's the same age as Teofimo Lopez at 28 years old, both men in their athletic primes. He's 5'8". I mean, these are on paper heights, so potentially a little bit shorter. He could even be a bit taller than Teofimo Lopez. I really need to see them next to each other to make that assessment. No lifts in the shoes, all that stuff. But around the same size is the most important thing. The difference, though, with Shakur Stevenson is he's actually a 3-weight division world champion, and he started a division lower than Teofimo Lopez, meaning naturally it would appear that he's slightly the smaller man. Although that doesn't necessarily mean they're now not the same size. He could easily have filled out to be roughly the same size as Teofimo Lopez is on the night in the ring. Now, for me, I'm going to jump back to 2021 to first start talking about Shakur Stevenson, when he managed to get a win over Jamel Herring. Again, he'd had significant wins before this fight, but it was the first one where I really tuned into his career. Notable wins had already come against Joet Gonzalez, Jeremiah Nakathila, but no one that was really a household name. Maybe Joet Gonzalez. No giant names. Jamel Herring was the first one where I was like, I know who Jamel Herring is. He beat Carl Frampton. He beat Lamont Roach. This is a very, very decent operator. And what can I say? I mean, Shakur Stevenson just absolutely dominated him and TKO'd him in the 10th round of their fight. But this was a really, really landmark standout performance from Shakur Stevenson. The talent was there for all to see. Everybody could tell this was a